Hey family, welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered Connections, where we have the conversations most people are afraid to have. I'm your host, Janique, also known as Positively Me. And if this is your first time listening, welcome. If you've been here since episode 1, I just want to say thank you, seriously. You could have been anywhere right now, but you chose to spend time with me, and I don't take that lightly. Today's conversation is personal, but not because I'm going to tell y'all all my business, but because every single person listening has probably struggled with this at some point in life. Today's episode is called The Hardest Person You'll Ever Have to Forgive is Yourself. Take a deep breath because this might step on somebody's toes. Sometimes we become our own prison, and I want to ask you something. Have you ever replayed one moment in your life over and over again? Maybe it was a relationship, a decision, a friendship, a mistake, something you said, something you didn't say, something you wish you would have done differently. You know what's crazy? Sometimes people involved have already moved on, but we're still punishing ourselves. We're still replaying the moment in our heads like it happened today. Can I tell you something? That's exhausting. I had to ask myself, who am I still trying to punish? Because if God has already given me another day, why am I acting like I don't deserve another chance? Some of us are serving life sentences in prisons we built for ourselves. Nobody locked the door. We just never walked out. We have all had that if only, if only I would have left sooner, if only I would have listened, if only I would have stayed, if only I would have said no, if only I would have loved myself more. If only. Have you noticed? Those two words can steal years from your life. Because there's one thing if only can never do. It's change yesterday. Here's something I've learned. The version of you that made that decision isn't the version of you listening to this podcast today. The person you were 5 years ago, nor the 2 years ago, even 6 months ago, is not who you are today. You learned, you cried, you healed, you've grown. So why are you expecting the old version of yourself to have wisdom you have now? That's not fair. We judge our past with today's knowledge. Think about that. We expect the younger version of ourselves, the hurting version, the confused version, the lonely version, to make decisions like the healed version. That doesn't even make sense. You don't even know then what you know now. I want to tell you something. Your mistakes deserve accountability, but they do not deserve ownership forever. There's a difference. Take responsibility, learn the lesson, apologize if needed to, change your behavior, but don't build your identity around your worst day. You are so much bigger than that one mistake. Social media has people fooled. Everybody looks like they have life figured out. Perfect family, perfect relationship, perfect body, perfect business, perfect mindset. Meanwhile, half of us are fighting battles nobody can see. That's why I wanted to create this podcast. Because I don't want perfect. I don't want perfection. I want honesty. Let me ask you this. What would your life look like if you actually forgave yourself? Think about it. Would you finally apply that for that job? Would you finally leave that relationship? Would you finally write that book? Start the business? Go back to school? Take the trip? Love again? Smile again? Live again? Would you? Sometimes the only thing standing between us and our future is guilt. I read something one day that changed me. It said, stop watering dead flowers. I had to sit with that. How many of us keep watering dead relationships, dead friendships, dead habits, dead guilt, dead versions of ourselves? It's over. The lesson is over. The season is over. Stop trying to revive something God already allowed you to end. Here's something else. Forgive yourself. Forgiving yourself doesn't erase what happened. It changes what happens next. That's the difference. Forgiveness isn't pretending. Forgiveness is choosing freedom. Some of you listening need to forgive yourself for becoming someone you had to become just to survive. Some of us became hard. Some of us stopped trusting. Some of us built walls. Some of us stayed quiet. Some of us pushed away. A lot of people, not because that's who we wanted to be, but because life taught us to protect ourselves. Give yourself some grace. Imagine carrying a backpack. Every mistake, every target, every regret, every disappointment You throw your brick inside. Eventually, you gonna wonder why you're so tired, why your back hurting. It's because you've been carrying things you were never meant to carry forever. Put that book bag down. Here's your homework for the week. I want you to stand in front of a mirror. No makeup, no filters, no pretending. Look at yourself in the mirror and say, I forgive you. It might feel weird. You might cry. You might laugh. You might not even believe it yet. Say it anyway. Healing start with repetition. Before I leave, I want to remind you this. You cannot change yesterday, but you absolutely have the power to change tomorrow. Don't let one chapter convince you the story is over. It isn't. You're still here. You're still breathing. You're still growing. That means God isn't finished with you yet. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Unfiltered Connections. If today's conversation touched your heart, share it with someone who needs it. Subscribe to the podcast, leave a comment, and answer this week's questions. What's one thing you've been struggling to forgive yourself for? You never know. Your answer might help someone else realize they're not alone. Until next Sunday, remember, healing isn't about pretending the pain never happened. Healing is deciding the pain doesn't get to write the rest of your story. I'm Jonique, also known as Positively Me. Thank you for joining me on Unfiltered Connections, where we have conversations most people are afraid to have. Until next time, keep healing, keep growing, keep loving yourself, and as always, keep it unfiltered. Mwah.